All right, welcome to this training where we are going to be walking you through option one, which is completing the registration process via EIN. Okay, so if you already know that you are going through this process, you know that you are an LLC, a corporation, you're going to be completing the process through EIN. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to walk you through that. Again, for most people, this is a very complicated task. However, if you follow along with this training, which is the system and the strategy, as well as the wizard that Client Kit, the business platform, has made it very easy for us to follow along with, this is going to be very, very easy for you. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What you are going to do is you are going to go over down to settings inside of your business platform. From there, you are going to go over to phone numbers. And then once you are under phone numbers, obviously we've been here before because this is where we had to come in and actually purchase your phone number. We're going to go over to the Trust Center. Now, the Trust Center is where all of the actual submissions are going to happen for a lot of these things, right? So you'll see on here, there is the A2P wizard that we've been talking about that Client Kit was able to go ahead and build out for the people of this community as well as the Client Kit users, which is amazing. So you have the A2P wizard, as well as there's a number of other cool options on here that we're going to walk you through in upcoming training sections that's going to allow you to actually get priority when you are text messaging and calling. There's actual trust-based calling, so that way you're verified, how to get your ID, your caller ID to show up on somebody's phone as a business, so that way they're more likely to pick up. All of that is stuff that we'll talk about in the future. However, for right now, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and start the A2P messaging wizard so we can go ahead and actually start this process. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on start registering now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this as if I'm doing this from scratch. Okay, now everything's going to be screwed up. I might make mistakes on here live. Well, we're going to be in the journey together. Okay, so let's figure out how far I can actually go through this. Because this is a test training video, we're going to see how far I can actually make it through this. So let's go ahead and get started. So the very first point on here is going to say, hey, is this business entity that you are registering located in the US or Canada? So in this case, that's going to be yes. If yours is different, obviously that's going to be different, but this is primarily based for people who are in the US. Next up is going to say, hey, does your business that you are registering have a tax ID? Okay, so this is going to be that EIN number. So tax ID just means EIN number, all right, EIN number, okay? So in this case, because remember, what training are we going through? Option one by EIN. And so yes, we're going to say the business I'm registering has a tax ID, okay? And again, on here tells you the form and all that kind of stuff from the IRS. So yes, it has a tax ID. We're going to go click on continue from there. From there, it's going to ask us what is the legal business name. Now, in this case, I am just going to use an example business name. However, this is what we got to make sure. This is very important, okay? You'll see that Client Kit is giving us this message here as well. This has to match what is going to be on the tax documents and the IRS and all that stuff. So we've talked about this in the past. This is very important. Let me see if we have a note on this in the actual guide as well. Yes, we do have it right here. We say, make sure the spacing is correct. Make sure that, hey, if it's on the EIN letter, the IRS letter, that's all caps, you got to put it as all caps. Make sure any commas, any hyphens, any periods, all of that must match exactly to the EIN letter that we walked you through previously, okay? So we are getting feedback that companies that provide the information exactly as it appears on the EIN letter are getting their authorizations quicker because of the fact that it is an exact match. If it's not, then it may actually delay your process. So very important, okay? So in this case, again, this is just an example. You are going to go ahead and make sure that yours is an exact match to your EIN letter. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and put NutraFit Wellness, comma, LLC. Let's say, for example, that's exactly how it was on the EIN letter. Now, the business type in this case, I am going to go ahead and depending on your case, in this case, I'm going to be putting that this company is a LLC, limited liability company. This is where I am going to go ahead and put in that this is, I'm going to be providing them an EIN number. So that's different than, there's in different countries, they have CBN number, all this stuff. This is going to be an EIN number. Now, right over here, I am going to go ahead and enter in the registration number. In this case, again, you're going to enter yours. This is just going to be an example. So we're going to go ahead and put in an example right over here. Okay, so just like that, we got what should be a 9-digit number. All right, so let's see if I can actually get a 9-digit number here, right? So right over here, and then let me see if I can, there we go. Okay, awesome. Now, business industry, this is very important. We would recommend that you do not, hear me clearly, that you do not put that you are in the healthcare industry, because that is a misrepresentation. You are not in the healthcare industry, okay? People misunderstand this because healthcare means that you are a doctor, you're helping people with medical stuff. No. You are not doing that. What we really are is we are really an education company, okay? And so what we're doing is we're providing education to the people that we are helping. So that's primarily what we are. So that is going to be the recommendation. Now, obviously, if you know what you're doing and you say, cool, you know what? I'm going to put something else. Sure, by all means. But for right now, based off of the categories that we see on here, education is most likely going to be the most relevant to what it is that we are doing. So education is going to be on there. It's going to go ahead and put your business email automatically here because it's going to pull in from your business profile. So I just want to confirm that that is in fact what is going to be there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Now, website URL. Guess what? Ding, ding, ding. This is the reason why we've been walking you through this process the way that we have. So in this case, I'm going to come over here to the tab. I'm going to right click on my mouse, hit duplicate. So that way I save it in the one tab here. Make sure you do not X this out, okay? Because you're going to lose your work. Then I'm going to go back over to my website, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab whatever our URL is. So website, go over to our website. I'm going to grab what the website is going to be, okay? So right over here, I'm going to grab nutrifitwellness.com. Now, in this case, you'll see that it is actually asking me to put HTTPS and all of that kind of stuff over here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and grab right over here, HTTPS nutrifitwellness.com. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and open this up in an incognito window and just make sure that, hey, everything is working properly. Oh, look at that. It's not working properly, you see? And so this is the reason why we test. And so in this case, I think the reason why it's not working properly is because I got to go over to settings. You'll see what I did there was I held command or control on the keyboard, and then I went ahead and hit settings. That went ahead and opened up here. So really quickly live, I'm going to go ahead and do this with you. I'm going to go over to domains. I'm going to go over to our domain over here. I'm going to go over to edit. And then I believe that it's asking me, I need to just go ahead and put the default page to that. And then also the 404 page, I can actually change that to the default homepage as well. If I hit save on there, guess what? Ding, ding, ding. Let me go ahead and refresh. And there we go. Look at that. It is live now. If I go ahead and paste one more time, https://nutrifitwellness.com, enter. Boom, it is working now, right? So sometimes you got to troubleshoot, and this is obviously just reps. You kind of know, hey, what might actually be wrong there. Obviously, if you run into any issues, this is the reason why the community is there. This is the reason why this is a community-based program. This is really why all of the cutting edge support and training and everything that's working right now is in the community. So make sure that you go ahead and ask inside of the community. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right over there, HTTPS, the website. Now, business regions of operation. This is going to be US and Canada. From there, I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. Now, in this case, it is going to go ahead and ask for your business address. Okay, so in this case, it is going to pull from the business profile. So you want to confirm if that is actually correct or not. Now, the reason why this is important is that you need to make sure that this also matches your EIN listing. Very important. Whatever was on your actual IRS EIN letter, this has to match that as well. Okay, so make sure you are doing that properly. From there, we're going to go ahead and click on continue. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and enter in your first name, your last name, all this kind of stuff. Again, I'm going to see how far I can actually go with this because, of course, this is going to be an actual demo. So we'll see how this actually goes. Now, in this case, the email address here, because it's asking for authorized representative, I am going to actually go ahead and make sure that I put in my personal address. So this is going to be any person that can answer questions about this brand. So this is going to be my personal email address. So this is going to be johndoe@gmail.com. Phone number. Again, this is going to be your personal phone number that you can receive text messages to. This is very important because they are going to potentially sometimes text message you to confirm some information. Okay. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and enter in whatever our personal phone number is going to be. Okay. Job position. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead that we are the CEO. You can put director. I don't think it really matters here, but you can go ahead and go from there. You're going to click on continue. Now over here, this is very important. Right over here, it's going to ask you, do you do low volume standard or high volume standard? Now, this is very important is that you'll see that there's quite a big difference in the actual pricing here for the one-time fees, right? So if I go and I switch between high volume standard and low volume standard, you'll see that this low volume standard requires an EIN. It allows more than one phone number, which both of them do. But the difference is that this one allows for more than 600,000 segments a day, and this one allows for 6,000 segments a day. Now, segments, that kind of breaks down roughly to be text messages, okay? And so there's a chance, not only a chance, you are most likely not sending more than 6,000 text messages a day, okay? So you are not going to be doing this one. And not only that, but it's significantly more expensive as well. But obviously, if you are doing that, you would know. And so that way, if you know what you're doing, this is a different story. But for most of you, you're going to go ahead and do low volume standard, and then you are going to go ahead and acknowledge that there is going to be that one-time cost. We've already gone ahead and talked to you about that as well as the additional campaign fee of $12 per month, additional to that in accordance to the TCR rules. But again, we've already broken all of this down in the cost breakdown, because if you follow our instructions, that should break down to about $1.70, not $12 per month. So that way you will be good to go. Okay. So from there, we're going to go ahead and click on continue. And then right here, you're going to see that we are now going to have exactly what we need to do. So first point here, campaign use case. This is where we said, right? So you have all of these different use cases. What we are going to recommend to you, as well as Client Kit is recommending, is low volume mix. This is not only going to have what is the most appropriate for you. So you're going to be sending a mixture of messages, right? Not only are you going to be sending calendar reminders, but you're also going to be sending things like, like a client communication, and you're going to be sending different delivery notifications and customer care and potentially marketing and all of these things. And so low volume mix is going to be the best for you. Now, right over here, use case description. This is where you are going to make sure that you actually go into the guide for this training, because in there we are going to have the exact messages that you need to put highlighted in yellow. Okay, this is very important because it is important that you get this right, because this is your application. So right over here, I'm going to select this and I'm going to come over here and I selected it. And once I select it, I double clicked on it. I'm going to now go ahead and hit Command C or Control C on my keyboard. That's a keyboard shortcut. Okay, so you see on here, Command C is what I'm hitting. And in this case, it's going to copy it. I'm going to then come over here and I'm going to do Command V, which is the keyboard shortcut. I'm going to backspace so that way it just kind of cleans it up there and we're good to go with that. All right. Next up we got is sample message 1. Now you see on here, there is also examples. However, again, we are providing you over here as well. Okay. So what we're going to do here, this is going to be enter campaign detail. This is going to be sample message number 1. Again, I'm going to copy this right here and this is going to be important over here. Okay. So it's going to say, hi, Susan. That's fine, no problem. But what you need to do, and this is where you need to customize it, don't just copy and paste it verbatim, okay? You need to go, hi, this is John Doe. Obviously, do not put John Doe. You are not John Doe. You're going to put your name, okay? And then your business name, okay? Don't put what our business name is. We're going to put over here, NutriFit Wellness, okay? And then that's going to be the message right there. Now, real quick, I did just notice that in the examples especially, and this is when we were designing this, that this one has reply to stop and then this one doesn't. So in this case, I am going to just amend this right over here. And we're actually just going to go ahead and make sure that we add that reply to stop at the end there as well, because I think that's going to be good. And then also, we're just going to make sure, if it says Susan, let's go ahead and take out the brackets on here. I'll take that out of the actual template here as well. So that was just hi Susan and then gives you the message there. Okay, awesome. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the second sample message. We're going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. So it's going to say hi Susan. I'm going to take out the brackets. And then I'm going to go ahead and put NutriFit Wellness consultation is coming up on September 1st right over here. Now, again, I like to look at the examples because that might actually add or subtract something from our messages here in case anything has changed, because ClientKit is up to date with this. So that way I can see, hey, you know what, if anything has changed, we are looking at this here. Okay, cool. Then what we're also going to go ahead and do is we are also going to make sure that we are checking both of these boxes. Okay, so both of these should be checked. That's going to be very important. Beautiful. Okay, awesome. After that, we just confirm, just look over everything one last time. Things are looking good. We go over to continue. And then here, this is going to be the last part. And you see, look how easy we've made it, right? Not only with the wizard, but also the copy and paste messages on here. We're going to now get into the end user consent, okay? So this first part, this is going to be, again, copy and paste, keyboard shortcut, right? Command C, Command V, backspace. Beautiful. Now, right over here, I'm going to put your business name. We're going to go ahead and put whatever your business name is, NutriFit Wellness. Well, don't put that, obviously your business name. And then right here, remember that contact form that we went ahead and built out together? Well, guess what? It's time for that to shine. And so what we're going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to go over here to website pages once again, and I am going to go ahead and pull up that form. Now, if you don't have these tabs open, what you can do is you can actually just go ahead and right click on the actual tab that is existing, and you can click on duplicate. And then that'll go ahead and duplicate whatever tab you are on. And then from there, you can go back, and then you can go over to sites, and then you can go over to websites, and then you can go over to your form, your actual website here, and then you can click on preview link. That's going to go ahead and open up this link right here, or maybe you saved it when we told you to save it earlier, right? Again, Command C is what I'm going to do, which is the copy actual keyboard shortcut, right? So you see on my keyboard here, Command C is what I am clicking, or Control C if you're on a Windows computer. You're going to go back, and then right over here, I've gone ahead and highlighted it. I'm going to now do Command, you see me holding Command V or Control V on your keyboard. Boom, just like that. It's now going to paste that right over there exactly the way that it is inside of the guide. Next up, we're going to have the opt-in keywords. Now, in this case, it looks like, again, this legislation is always changing. It looks like on here, they don't have the opt-in keyword anymore. They used to ask for the opt-in keyword, which is interesting that they don't ask for it anymore. Okay, cool. Well, in this case, for right now, we're just going to go ahead and skip the opt-in keyword because it looks like on the application that is no longer required for now. But sure, no problem. We're going to go ahead and continue. We have the opt-in message next, which is going to be copy again, Command C, Control C, paste, Command C, Command V, Control V, there we go. And then your business name right over here, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we put your business name right over here, okay? Now, what's going to happen next is you are going to go ahead and click on submit. See how easy that was? Now, in my case, I am not going to click on submit because this is just an example. However, you do want to just make sure that you followed the instructions that we have walked you through here. And if you have, this literally should be as easy as copy and paste. Like that is as easy as we have gone ahead and made this for you as a system and a strategy. So once you actually go ahead and hit submit, all right? Now, once you hit submit, congratulations. You've now gone ahead and submitted this. Now, this could take up to 7 days for your brand approval. So let me show you what I mean by brand approval, right? So let me go ahead and back over here to Trust Center. You'll see over here, so there is the brand approval and then there is the campaign approval, right? So the brand approval was like your name and your address and all that kind of stuff. And then the campaign approval was all those messages that we put in there, okay? And then it could take up to 4 to 6 weeks for the campaign approval to actually come back through to everything. So you do want to make sure that you are coming back regularly over here into phone numbers inside of your business platform client kit. You are coming over into the Trust Center. So let me show you where that was once again. You're coming over here to the Trust Center and you are checking on this pretty regularly. Now, the other thing, once you've gone ahead and submitted this, you may potentially also receive something called an OTP, okay? This is a potential OTP passcode that is going to be going to the mobile number that you provided, and you're going to have 24 hours to reply yes to that, okay? Again, think about how awesome this strategy and system that we're giving you is we're giving you this heads up. Because imagine if you went through this process and you missed that text message, right? And so you want to keep a lookout on your phone. Again, sometimes they have this, sometimes in some cases they do not, because they're always updating the legislation. However, you do want to make sure that you are keeping an eye on your phone, especially for the first few days, because they are going to send you that OTP message in order to confirm. And then if they need more information, they might let you know that as well. If you do not reply within 24 hours, they will make sure that you restart your entire registration. So make sure that you do have all of that rocking and rolling properly. And then once you confirm that via text, you should be pretty much all good to just wait now for their entire process. And again, depending on the legislation, this text message may or may not be there. So if you don't receive a text message, don't freak out. Just keep an eye on your client kit dashboard regularly as well as your email. Okay. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what is next? Well, congratulations. You've submitted your application. So while you are waiting for this to actually go through, in the very next training, we're going to be walking you through, hey, while you're waiting, what are you able to go ahead and do up here, right? There's some things that you can turn on as additional features while you are waiting and exactly what you should expect going forward as well. So we're not done yet. Make sure you're following the steps step by step, because as Thomas Jefferson said, hey, I find that the harder I work, the more luck that I seem to have. You're going to only get luckier and luckier the more action you take. We will catch you in the next training section.